Hello dear students. So now the ReNEET exam is completed and all of you must be relaxed after giving the exam. First of all, congratulations to all of you for giving the same exam twice within the gap of 2 months. So that's a work well done by you. First of all, you by this time you all must be having the idea of difficulty of paper, right? Whether it is tough, easy. So the difficulty of paper, if we talk about, then it is simply difficult than third May exam, right? So we can say that it is in a range of difficulty level of 20-25 paper. Yes, here and there some differences are there, but is difficulty of paper really matters to you? So the point is, difficulty of paper doesn't matter. Even if it is easy, even if it is tough, doesn't matter. See, what is right now mattering for you more is what is your score in this paper, right? And how that score is close to the safe score. So that is the main thing which you should now focus, right? So in this video, my aim is to give you an idea about the safe score, give you an idea about what will be considered as a good score in each subject, means subject wise what is the good score, and in the end I will also give you some idea about what could be the cutoff this year accordingly. But before getting into that part, first let's understand how the cutoff is decided. So just for example, let's assume that 20 lakh student is appearing for the NEET exam this year, and the total seats are 1 lakh. Just a rough idea we are having, right? The 5% students are getting the seat, so these top 5% of the student will be selected and only their marks will decide the cutoff. Bottom 95% have no impact on the cutoff. So let's consider two possible scenarios here. So as you can see here, let's consider a scenario 1 where top 1 lakh student score above 520, right? Now, so the 520 will become the cutoff, and in scenario 2, if we see that 600, the top 1 lakh student score above 600, then the cutoff marks will be 600. So what we see here, the key observation here is that if more students score high, the cutoff increase, and if few students score high, then the cutoff will decrease. So basically what is important here, the top student, how they are scoring. Are they scoring very high or are they scoring very low? And in subject wise, if we do the discussion, so let's first start with biology. Now we know that in biology the paper was more or less easy. On an easier side it was. Yes, few questions, 2-3 questions were there where some student may find a little bit of difficulty, but that also was not difficult, and that is the reason why large number of students are scoring 360 out of 360. So on that basis, if we see the score distribution of subject biology, then what we are finding here, if you see a significant number of students, as you can see here, are scoring 360, and as you can see 350, 340, 330, these numbers are very high. So you can see among the top 10% student, if we consider, majority of them are scoring above 330. So now what does it says? It says that 330 plus, if you are scoring in bio, then it is a good score, right? 330, a lot of students are scoring, but still if your score is above 330 in bio, you have done well in bio. Now if we see the score distribution of chemistry among the top 10% of the student, so in top 10% of the student, if you can see, very less number of student will be able to score 180, right? And as you can see, the highest concentration of student is near 100 to 120 range in chemistry. So in chemistry, basically students, a large number of student, majority of student are getting somewhere between 100 to 120. So if you are in this zone, you are in a safe zone in chemistry. It is expected score in chemistry. If you are higher than this, then it is way better. Now in the same way, if we see the distribution curve of physics score, let's see here. As you can see that in physics also the high score are very less. Very unlikely that student will be able to score 180, right? Even if it is, it will be very few student, and which is very unlikely. And as you can see here in physics, the maximum concentration of student score is somewhere between 70 to 100. If you are above 100, it is fantastic, right? But on an average, if you are somewhere 70, 80 plus, then it will be considered as a good score in physics. So that was subject wise. Now if we see the overall score distribution of the entire 720 marks, then what we are seeing here, that 720 marks will be very unlikely. Even if it is there, then rarely it may be one, but it is very unlikely this year that any student will score 720, right? And very few will cross 700, right? So you can consider that 700 to 720 will be the top score, right? So anywhere the topper will get near about 700 or anywhere between 700 to 720. And as you can see, the maximum number of students are in the zone somewhere between 470 to 550. Now this is a very big zone where students are there, and that is where your cutoff will somewhere lie. So in general, if let's say if I have to define what will be a safe score, so a safe score will be, let's say 330 in bio, let's say 120 or 110 in chemistry, and 80 marks if you consider in physics, then overall 520, 530 plus will be considered as a safe score. Now, what if you have got 520, 510? That is also fine, right? Because safe score is the point beyond which you are definitely going to get a college, right? Cutoff is always below the safe score. So now if I have to say cutoff, it's again very difficult task to predict the cutoff. It is simply guessing, right? So it is very easy to tell a safe score. So from here the safe score seems to be 530 plus, right? 530, 540. Beyond that is a very safe score. And cutoff, as I have gone through the marks of different students, so cutoff will be somewhere between 500 to 520, right? That is a zone. Now if you are in a reserve category, you will get advantage. So for you, cutoff will further go down. Again, in northern state, if you are in northern part, then the cutoff will go, right? So in northern state like UP, Bihar, the cutoff may even go as high as 530, 540, right? But in southern states like Andhra, Telangana, the cutoff will go slightly lower. So for Andhra, maybe it is 480, 490. For Telangana, it may even go a little lower. So in this way, you can say somewhere between 470 to 540, the cutoff for the entire country will be there. Depending on your category, cutoff will change. Depending on your state, cutoff will change. So finally, 500 to 520 will be considered as a cutoff zone. If you are above that, rest assured you are getting a seat. Even if you are below that, don't lose hope. Still, it is just a tentative thing. Real cutoff will only be known after the result. Now, so I know still there will be a lot of query in your mind. First of all, don't start thinking too much about cutoff, right? If you have any query, just write in the comment box. I will help you out. I'll try to tell you what could be the possible chances. So just mention your marks, mention your category, mention your state, and then mention your query. I'll try to answer each and every queries, right? So at this point, you don't have to panic, right? You have given your best in the exam, right? Now you have your time. You have your time. You have a time with your family. You have already done a lot by giving same exam twice. So now it's time to give your mind some relaxation. If there is any query, feel free to write in the comment box. I'll definitely help you out with your queries.